Okay, boys and girls, let's look at our solve and share.
Find 4 objects that are each shorter than 9 inches. Measure the length of each object to the nearest inch. Record the measurements in the table. Then plot the data on the number line. Which object is longest? Which is shortest?
Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of time to find 4 objects that measure less than 9 inches. That's what they're asking us to do. So go ahead and do that. You can pause the video while you do that. Okay, are we ready? Now I found 4 objects already that are less than 9 inches. And so I'm going to put my 4 objects up, and then we can kind of talk about what we're doing. So first off, what did we need to do first? We had to find 4 objects that measure less. First off, we had to find 4 objects, and we had to find 4 that measure less than 9 inches long. And how did we keep track of that? We had to put them in the table that's on our paper. And these are the 4 objects that I found that are less than 9 inches. And I had to type them out, which is kind of different than what we usually do. And this is what I have here. First off, I found a crayon. And I'm going to put my crayon up in my table. And my crayon measured in at 3 inches. So I'm going to put my crayon and I'm going to put my measurement here, and that was 3 inches. Oh. So I had a crayon that was 3 inches in length. Then I found a book. I'm going to put my book there, and my book was 8 inches long. I like to line that up a little. The next object I found that was less than 9 inches was a computer mouse. So I'm going to put my computer mouse. And the computer mouse was about 5 inches. There's my 5 inches. And then lastly, I had a pencil. And my pencil was 7 inches. So I'm going to put that there. Okay. Now the last thing they wanted us to do was they wanted us to plot the data on the number line. So here's what we need to do to plot the data. We're going to draw dots. And so here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with my crayon. And I'm going to draw a dot. So I'm going to put 1 dot here for my crayon. Okay, there's my crayon. Then I had an 8-inch book. So I'm going to put a circle here, a little dot for my book. My computer mouse was 5. So I can put that there. Oh, that one looks kind of square. And then my pencil was 7 inches. So I could put that there. Now I can kind of look at my data that I have. It's all on my line plot. Now, let's kind of talk about what we're going to do here. What is the longest object on my line plot? Oh, it's my book. And we could tell that because it's on the farthest right of my line plot. It's all the way on the right. The book is. What is the shortest object on my line plot? It would be the crayon because it's on the farthest left. We could see that. Now, let's pretend I had 2 objects that were 7 inches. Does anybody know where I would put the other dot? Would I put it next to it or on top of it? Well, if I had 2 objects that were 7 inches, I would draw it on top of it. That's how we would display that. So if I had 2 that were 7, it would go on top of it and not next to it. That's what we would do. One dot would be on top of it like a column. We would be making a column of dots. They would never go next to each other. So we would be building a column of dots. Okay? So that's what we're going to do in the lesson that we're going to be working on. We're going to practice measuring lengths of objects, and then we're going to learn how to make a line plot to display our data. And then we're going to learn how to use our line plots to answer questions about the data. And this is nice because it's very visual. We can look at our data. We could see what was the longest, which is right here, which is our book. That was the longest right here. Oh, not doing very good at circling there. And then we can look to see quite easily which is the shortest, where it is on the line plot. There we go. Okay, we're ready to move on. So let's exit here, and we're going to go to our video, to our visual learning video.
What are different ways to display data? Let's find out. What is being measured in the picture?
So what is that, boys and girls? It looks like a glue stick. And how long is that glue stick? It is 2 inches long. I hope you all said. I hope you said we have a 2-inch long glue stick. We could see they started at one end and they measured to the other end, and they're using a unit of measurement, which is inches, 2 inches long.
The length of the glue stick is being measured. How long is the glue stick? The glue stick is 2 inches long. You can use a table to record the measurement data. What are the labels at the top of the table? The labels are object and length in inches. What do the numbers in the table tell you? The numbers tell you the length of each object in inches. Select your answer.
Okay, so what do we think the numbers are telling us? What are these numbers telling us? Are they telling us how many objects we have? Or are they telling us the length of the objects? Look what it says here. I think I'm going to pick here. The length.
You can make a line plot to show the data. Place a dot over the number that shows each length.
Okay, and notice we made a column when we had 2 objects that were the same length, because we have an object that's 2 inches, a 4-inch object, the string. Here's the glue stick. There's the string. Here's the feather. And then there's the scissors. Now we're going to try it. It says select each row of the table to show plotting on the line plot. So here's the glue.
The glue stick is 2 inches long. The string and the scissors are 4 inches long. The feather is 6 inches long.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Why do you think this is called a line plot? The data are recorded on a number line. The 2 dots above the 4 tell you that 2 objects are 4 inches long. What is the longest object?
Okay, we just scan our eyes over to where the last dot is. It's at the 6. We look over here to see which object is 6 inches in length, and we could see that it is what, everybody? It is the feather.
The feather is the longest object.
Now you know how to use a line plot to display data.
Very easy. I think we're going to do great with this. Okay, now we're going to look in our book. We're going to go and we're going to look at our first lesson. Now we've already done this, so we're going to go to our guided practice. And here's where we can check. If we're not sure, we can always go to the top and reread what we need to do, because this gives us our example up here at the top of the page. So let's look at the guided practice. It says, measure each object in inches. Record each length in the table. Then make a line plot. Show each length on the line plot. Okay, so they measured the first one for us. They measured the marker. The marker is 4 inches long. I want you to trace over the 4 for me. Okay, now I want you to take your ruler and I want you to measure the crayon to the nearest inch. So you should line up your ruler at the beginning of the crayon. Remember, we're measuring in inches. That's our unit of measurement. And I want you to measure from the beginning of the crayon to the end. And then I want you to write what it is here. Did everybody do that? Now it is 3 inches long. And so I'm going to put the 3 here. So this is our example one. We have it as 3 inches. We also now, we're going to work on our table that we have here. On our table, we have object and length. So down this column, we have the marker, which is 4 inches. I want you to trace over the 4. Then we have the crayon, and we're going to write in here, what do you think we're going to write? The length of the marker. The length of the marker is 3. So we're going to write a 3 there. So I'm going to write a 3. I, of course, have to type in a 3. So I'm going to type that and put that in place right there. Now we have to put our dots in our line plot. We have our first dot, which is going to be right here. Let's fill that in. So we're going to make it black. So we have our 4. So let's fill in our first dot, our circle for our 4. Now, oh, I forgot. Trace over where it says number of inches, because we need to know what unit of measurement we're using there. Sorry, I forgot that. So let's put that in. So trace over that neatly. Then let's go here to the marker. Oh, that's the marker. Trace over that, make sure. Now let's put in our crayon measurement. So now where are we going to put that? Well, it's 3 inches, and these are all inch marker. That's an inch. That's 0, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to we put it right here. So let's draw a circle. Oh, my circles look like they're getting better. So there we go. So we have 2 lengths on our line plot. Why do you think it's helpful to use a line plot to display data? It's so easy to see, to compare data, isn't it? We can easily see which object is longer, which object is shorter. I can easily see that the marker is longer than the crayon, that the crayon is shorter than the marker. Now, here's what we needed to do here. Let's look at the do you understand. Show me. Measure the length of your pencil to the nearest inch. Record your measurement on the line plot above. How does it change the data? Okay, so let's measure our pencils. Okay, let's put it on there. Now remember, I've already measured my pencil. My pencil was how long? It was 7. So I'm going to put mine on there. I'm going to put it on there. Now, how does it change this? How does it change my data? Well, now it changes it. It says now the pencil, oops. The pencil is the longest object. So instead of the feather was, but now the pencil is. So that's what I'm going to put there. You can, if your pencil is longest, you would be able to write that there. Okay? Now, let's look at what we need to do next, boys and girls. We are on guided practice. Let's look at our independent practice. I'm going to leave the page. You can always pause it if you need to. So it says measure each object in inches. Record each length in the table. Show each length on the line plot. So that's what you're going to do. And then you're going to measure all the objects in inches, and then you're going to put them here on the line plot. Let's see what you have to do in problem solving. Now you have to make a line plot. You're going to have to answer the questions. Very easy. And then you'll have your homework pages as well. So there you go. You'll have some practice to do. I would also like you to work on your extra math and some Prodigy. I hope you enjoyed learning about line plots. I know I did. I think they're a lot of fun, and they are something that is easy to understand. Until tomorrow, boys and girls, bye.